Hi everyone, welcome back. And today I'm reacting to a very tough video. This one is boys ranging from ages 12 to 15 charged as an adult in the raping of a 12-year-old in Overton, Miami. Before we get started, uh I don't want to bash the parents or anything like that, I don't want to bash anyone, but it's just going through my mind. And remember, all of this is alleged at this point. Uh, what was going through these kids' minds? Because at that age, you're very impressionable. So I don't know what influenced them, or where they're thinking at, and or what was going on in their life to make them even think that this was okay, or to even want to even do things like that. But let's go ahead and watch the video.
Turning now to a disturbing safety alert. A 12-year-old girl allegedly raped by three teenagers who are all being charged as adults. Local 10's Magda Luisa is live in Miami with distressing details. Magda.
Janice, this alleged crime happened in June, but it wasn't until this week a grand jury said these minors need to be charged as adults.
Yeah, so for more context, this happened last year, June 2025, and it's now this March now that I'm recording this, but it came out in February. It was brought to light.
This is why we are showing you their faces. Now, the details in this alleged crime are very disturbing. We want to warn you. Two middle school age boys and a 15-year-old boy are facing serious charges as adults in connection to a rape case involving a 12-year-old girl.
And those are some very, very young men, as you can see. Nelson Nunez, Joshua Jones, Xavier Tyson. Yeah, some very, very young young men, as I call them. And now their life is basically thrown away. If this is true, or they get convicted, because they are being tried as adults. And I'm not sure how this goes, but if they tried as adults, are they thrown into a prison with adults, which is not going to change anything? I think they might even become worse in there, because I'm not really sure how the prison, the whole inner workings of a prison, but yeah, it's very sad. It's very sad.
Charges as adults in connection to a rape case involving a 12-year-old girl.
So you're 12 years old? You're 13 years old?
Police say the co-defendants, Nelson Nunez, Josiah Jones, and Xavier Tyson, all played a part in the crime that took place in an Overtown community garden in June.
You were indicted by a grand jury and transferred from juvenile court to adult court. That's why you are here.
Police reports say the victim was leaving her friend's house when 13-year-old Nelson Nunez grabbed her, forced her on a couch inside the Greenhaven community garden, and raped her, while 12-year-old Josiah Jones and Xavier Tyson, who was 14 at the time, restrained her. Police say Jones put rocks in her mouth to stop her from screaming. The victim says it went on for about 30 minutes, and the boys stopped when they heard her father calling her name. We've learned from the founders of the community garden.
And as you can see, her father was looking for her because she probably wasn't home at the time that she was supposed to be home. Again, this is just me speculating. This is not any kind of proof, or any kind of it's not reported or anything like that. But he was looking for her because I guess she wasn't where she was supposed to be in the time she was supposed to be, and he was out looking for his daughter. Makes me wonder, where were the parents for these kids? You know why were these kids out doing this? And again, I'm not trying to bash anyone, but you see, I see a lot of kids out here by themselves, 9 years old. I've seen 9-year-old boys talking about they're going to a party at 1 o'clock in the morning. I've seen this when I lived in Brooklyn, and girls too. Little girls, 13-year-old, 12-year-olds talking about they're going to a party out on the street, especially in the summertime, going to parties at 12, 1, 2 o'clock, 2 a.m. in the morning, and I'm like, wow. Like, what are your parents doing that you're out here like this? Again, I'm not trying to. I understand sometimes the dynamic in within the home is not the most ideal. But have a single parent who is putting in some extra hours, getting picking up an extra shift, have more than one job, and no one is really attending to these kids, so they're out just roaming and doing whatever they want. And again, I'm not saying this is what happened in this situation, but yeah, it puts a lot of things through my mind, and makes me just think like what is going on. And I hate to say it, but it starts within the home. That's what I believe, and I'm glad I'm able to provide. Even though I didn't have a two-parent home, I'm glad I'm able to provide that for my kids. Um, and hopefully, and I'm going to be on top of them. Might say that I'm hovering parent, or whatever people want, all these different terms. But yeah, because I want to make sure things like this don't happen with my kids, whether it's on the side of the victim or the side of the alleged assailants. So I don't want to. I'm trying to prevent that from ever happening. But I mean, things happen. But again, I don't see this as a case of boys being boys. Uh, some people like to say it's just boys being boys, but this is way beyond that.
Stopped when they heard her father calling her name. We've learned from the founders of the community garden Green Haven project, telling Local 10 the situation has been very saddening. They say the garden is closed off to the public outside of normal operating hours, and on that day, a construction company cut the side gate, which allowed for anyone to enter the garden. The organization said it extended support to the victim, adding, "We will always be here to support in the best way possible, and that our extension of love and resources will always be available to the victim and her family, which we very much cared for." Both the 12 and 13-year-old are at the West Detention Center, both of them being held there without bond. As far as Xavier Taylor, the 15-year-old, we have not seen that he has seen a judge just yet, but when he does, we'll update you on what happens there. And we have also reached out to everyone involved in this case, their representatives, and that includes the victim in this case, and we have not heard back from anyone just yet. We're live in Miami. I'm Magdala Lucen, Local 10 News.
There's things that happen within this case that is not mentioned here. So I'm going to go to this article right here that explains some details that is not in that news report. And shout out to People Magazine for this. But here we go. So it said it only stopped after Jones, Nunez, and Tyson heard the victim's father, who were looking for the 12-year-old, yelling her name, and they fled. And they fled the scene, per WPLG, NBC6, and CBS News. So that we already saw that part in the video, but they said the three boys were arrested the following day, which is not in that report. And then they said there was a fourth boy on the scene who witnessed the alleged grape, and he later told police that he did not intervene because he was outnumbered and was afraid of getting beat up. Per NBC6 and WPLG. There was also another witness to the incident who reported it to an MPD patrol officer. So it's not looking too good for these boys at all. Not looking good for them at all. So yeah, I want to follow up on this case. I want to see where it goes, but yeah, it's not looking very good. Especially there's witnesses, because I was thinking maybe, like, I can't remember the exact case, but I remember there was a case of a girl, a teenage girl who accused several teenage boys of raping her, and it turns out it was not that in the end. After they went through all the being arrested and going through so much, it turns out that's not what it was. She lied. So it seems like this is not that type of a case. It seems because there are witnesses who've seen it and reported it as well. So yes, not looking too good for these kids, and it looks like they have basically thrown their life away. Ah, boy. So yeah, a very sad situation. But I'll see you guys in the next one. Um, yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video.